Okay, flag. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thanks everyone for coming. We will start with the approval of the agenda, and I do have, does everybody have the new copy of the agenda? Because there were a couple late additions. But I do have one thing to add, RGL Solutions update from our Economic Development Director, Jonathan Blake. And we're just gonna, if everybody's okay with it, we'll just have that every month. We'll just have that reoccurring. Is that okay with you guys? Just have Chris put that on every month if he's gonna be here so we don't forget. So I always have to add it. So that's the only thing that I have to add unless anybody has anything else. I'll entertain a motion. Huh? Oh, can we put him maybe after Steve Howe or
Sounds great.
between Steve Howe and the minutes there between 7 and 8?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with that addition.
Okay, motion made by David,
Second.
second by Gail. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Okay. All right, public comment. Randy. Cole.
I'm here not because I want to make a public comment, just because I couldn't get on the agenda. So I'll get in and out. The only reason I'm here is we're asking for permission to replace Steve Hauser and his secretary, EMA. And we just need to come from the council to get approval. We've advertised it. We didn't think there was a need for a special meeting. And if you don't want to approve it, then I'll be looking for a list of volunteers to do his work that's required. So that's an option.
I think isn't it a state statute you have to?
It
have,
is. That's why I love it. One of you guys, if you want to volunteer to do the work, you can save $1.
No, not
Yeah.
qualified for that. But,
Okay.
so you want to hire full-time?
We've advertised for his full-time position and Sandy Jarvis also is his secretary. And we've got some interest and we'll sort it out to see how it all comes together. But we're asking for permission and then we'll start the process of interviewing.
And this, I think we get reimbursement for some of the salary. Huh?
Yes.
How much percent?
It's 40.
40?
Just his position, I think.
I think it's some of Sandy's too.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Is that full-time Sandy's?
Yes, both of them are full-time. And we're gonna do some things on that position. I think maybe to get a little more responsibilities on the new person coming into EMA.
Is it gonna include the 911 or is that gonna go separate?
Well, it is right now with the 911 and how that, but we're gonna take a
Coordinator.
look at how this is all put together. It's was one of those things that over time, new requirements and this one took them and that one took them and some of it doesn't really align like it should. So we're gonna look at that and see whether there's a more efficient way of doing it.
Does anybody have any discussion or questions?
I make a motion to advertise and replace or fill the position of Steve Hauser and Sandy Darbo at the ambulance.
Okay. Motion made by Brad to advertise and fill both positions as
I'll second
requested.
that.
Seconded by Paul. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Passes 6-0.
Thank you much.
Thank you. Okay. Next is Greg Hendershot and Jake Austin, Parks and Rec. And it is request to fill vacancy.
Good evening.
Hey, evening, y'all. My name is Jake Austin, if you don't know me. Greg is taking his retirement at the end of the year, where I'll be stepping into the director role. And so that's going to leave an opening for the Parks Maintenance Assistant position. We're requesting that to be advertised and filled.
Okay. And I watched the meeting, the Parks and Recs meeting the other day, and I was a little confused because there were some different discussions going on. But there was some talk about one of your board members had said that she was going to ask the council and commissioners about, there was a stipulation with the hiring, I guess, with something about removing maintenance duties or something like that.
I think.
And she did ask me about that, and I said the job description that we have includes maintenance duties, and I asked our HR person for a copy of that. So there's several maintenance things in here, so I don't know, was that
I don't know.
okay, because I don't know, I just know that she said something about she was okay with it as long as she could ask
keeps
the
us-
council commissioners to remove this or look at removing this.
It keeps us really busy, and maybe she was trying to lighten the load. I don't know. That didn't come from he or I. I guess that's something she's thinking about maybe trying to do.
Okay, it was like a stipulation, I thought, if I misunderstood, a stipulation of the thing, and then
I'm not aware of that.
I think Warren even repeated it. Warren, are you here?
Yes.
Okay,
Now, I brought up that whenever Greg took over the duties of maintenance, that was combined to try for the county to save some money, that he's going to do both jobs instead of just being parks director. And that's what it's been ever since. Just because instead of having two positions, department heads, you've only got one with a helper.
so, but the job description has all those duties in it, still, the
Correct.
maintenance duties.
Yeah.
So,
Jake, is that what you're expecting?
Sir, say again?
Are, the maintenance responsibilities, are you expecting
this full
this?
job description.
That was my original months ago when I hired on. That was definitely the original plan.
Okay.
Obviously, this came up the other day in the meeting. A little bit shocking, if you will.
Uh-huh.
'Cause I didn't know this.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, whichever way it goes,
So to be,
chores need to get done.
yeah, right, exactly. So in our eyes, the position includes the maintenance responsibilities that are in that, and everything's copacetic as far as you're concerned.
Yes, sir.
Warren?
And that's what we told him whenever we approved him coming on to be Greg's assistant. He's going to be taking when he took over the Parks Department, he also had all the maintenance of the county buildings also. That was
Yes.
part, we told him that. I mean,
Yeah, there's quite a bit in this job description of maintenance duties. I just want to make sure you're aware of these, because whenever I was listening to that meeting, it was kind of,
Vague.
maybe we can try to take those off, and I thought that's a whole nother discussion. If we change this job description, then that means we'll have to pay somebody to do those things, which may affect the salary, or I don't know.
We have discussed in the past about how it keeps us busy.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't aware of any conversations prior to that meeting about taking that off of our job duties.
Okay.
Okay.
I was on the council when that was discussed, and that was part of the job description, to do both. And
I
Greg
was just
understood that.
I was just confused because when she said there was like a stipulation or something, I want to make sure I understand what that means. That, because I think it passed 3-0, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
but we voted to give her, if she wanted to check in on it, but.
and she did. She asked me, that's why I got this job duties. And I saw where it has all these maintenance things and, just me personally, and I know you've mentioned this over the years that this got added, but really not looking to separate duties and then pay someone else,
Correct. I agreed to this back in, I think it was 2018,
Is that when it
2019. When I was, as park director, I was just being a part-time guy, and I wanted that part-time position brought to a full-time
And
position.
Ellis Hard retired.
Yeah.
Yes, and I had been asking for 2 or 3 years, and it kept getting denied
Right.
because there wasn't any money.
Okay.
Well, then when Ellis retired, that was when I approached the budget committee at the time and said, hey, if you guys want to put that on to Parks and Rec, let's try it for a year, see if we can do it. And if it works out, we'll keep it, and if it not, then we'll do something different. It worked out. I mean, I'll be honest with you, we're extremely busy, but it worked out where we were able to do it.
You mentioned that it helps having two people.
You have to have 2
On
people,
both
or it
those
won't
jobs.
work.
Absolutely.
You can't do one person on each job, because there's so many times you need to partner up. That's
Well,
what he was
the
saying.
jail's a prime example. You got like 4-foot spaces sometimes where you have to move like a 12-foot ladder through it. You need 2 people to try to get that ladder through those 2 doors. Today, we were
They're
working on something and I was back in the back. Jake was out into the cell. We had to talk on the phones back and forth because I was making adjustments and he was letting me know if those adjustments were working. One person can't do that by themselves.
I wasn't suggesting that. I was just wanting to make sure that I understood that you have this job description and nothing was, okay. I just want to make sure nothing was going to be removed because that's a whole nother discussion if we need to
Right.
adjust the job description.
So as such, if that's the intent, if that was the intent of Parks and Recreation, then we really, do we have any, I mean,
No, we don't have, I just wanted to make sure I was, what I didn't want to do is if they made a stipulation that this had to be changed in order for him to be the director, then we don't need to put the cart before the horse and advertise his position before we figure that out.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
If I could say it, then it was to my clear understanding that when this was discussed during the board meeting, it was not, I'm using the word stipulation, it was not approved of the stipulation. That was an afterthought, like, yeah, what's going on here? And that's my understanding. I don't want to put words in somebody else's
Yeah,
mouth.
and I just watched online, so and it was a little
That's-
confusing.
That
So I
was my
just wanted.
understanding.
Okay, so your understanding is that you have all these job duties that are already here as the director.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so you're asking to just refill his
When I
position
retire,
once you retire,
He will step up and then he will need to fill his position to get somebody in here.
which is full-time.
Yes, and we're just asking it early because I'm gonna be here till the end of the month, but
Yeah.
we won't be rushed to start the process.
Yeah.
And we can have applications out there at a longer time seeking applications. It's hard, it's a hard
Understand.
position to fill.
I understand, and that way they can start hopefully right after the first of the year or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
make a motion to advertise the position?
I'll second that.
Motion made by Brad, seconded by David. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your appointment and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for all your years of service.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
You too.
All right. Next up, Mr. Roach, Solid Waste Director. Request to fill a part-time vacancy. Hi there.
Hi.
And we received a letter from you, I think, or an email, I'm sorry. They forwarded the email. You're asking to replace the part-time attendant who resigned.
Yep.
Hours and pay would remain the same and 29 hours a week. And you've been without it for about a month, is that right?
So it sounds like, what I brought up the last time was, we're trying every different way we can come up to save money within this because we weren't able to get raises. We're just trying to squeeze as much as we possibly can in the next cycle to make sure that we don't go belly up. And from your letter, it explained that with being short a person for a month, you're pretty ragged. Is that how you would
We were
describe it?
ragged a year ago when you guys asked me to cut everything in half.
And it's previously been cut pretty hard before.
Mhm.
And we're aware of that. But I think that the issue essentially has been addressed that I had concerns about.
What is that?
Just, again, trying to tighten down as much as possible. And again, your
That's all I've been
position,
doing the entire time.
Yes.
yes,
You-
Seems redundant going over it now.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Make a motion to fill the position.
A motion made by Gail to fill the vacancy.
I'll second that.
And that you guys will advertise for it, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Second by Paul.
Yes.
You put on the website.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion passes 6-0.
How soon will that be listed and where will it be?
It will be on our website. I'll have Nicole post it tomorrow. And then any applications, they all come to my HR deputy. And any applications that we get our board will be forwarded on to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks
All
for
right.
working with us.
Next up is Miss Sheriff Falkenberg.
Okay.
Step right up. Welcome.
I was saying my first time.
I
on
think
this
so.
part of it.
We'll try to be easy on you.
Thank you. So, yeah, thanks for having me here.
Yeah.
And appreciate it, and appreciate the time that several of you took, about a week ago, I think it was. I'm losing track of days. But jump into some bad news, I guess. Already received a resignation tonight of another officer, so that's 5 that have left in about the last 40-some days, I think. And in total experience, that was a loss of about 31 and a half years of experience in people being there. So what I want to talk about, I'll go over the major parts and see where we go from there. Looking at a way to try and entice and keep good employees. And I think that is the backbone of the whole issue here about the people that are actually doing the work and keeping them around. And so one of the things that we looked at, and I know budget and money is tight for you all, for all of us. I know that it is difficult to come up with those finances. But looking ahead and trying to come up with something that could be spread out, you start generating and looking at what in the future would that cost be and how to reward some. And I personally think that this is actually a small award or a small type system. I don't want to say award, but it is in respect to them for the time and the training and the job that they're all doing. And so what I'm getting at is that, and for the public behind me, if they don't know, and I hate having my back to you all, I turn around and try and get everybody, is that you have some in the jobs, and I know in the regular job market too, you have people who come into a place and they start, and so they're learning. And then you've got some that, like I said, just left. We've got some people that have been there, one of them had been there 14 years. And so that's a lot of experience and a lot of intelligence about the job, about the interaction with people, about everything that goes on. And so to have those people gone, you're thinking like we're just bringing somebody in, we're filling a body space in here, but you don't. You don't have the person that you lost. And it takes so long to try and get back up to that they understand their job, that they're trustworthy. I don't mean trustworthy being honest. It's trusting about making decisions. And law enforcement, criminal justice, it's a lot to do with decision making, what goes on spur of the moments in the field. And it's also dealing with what you guys deal with too, and that is the public. And some of our people, our clients, they don't like us very well. We got to actually chase them down. And so that comes into play too. But so what we got to talking about and looking at was a way to say, hey, we recognize that experience and we recognize the work that you're doing. And so we looked at some other departments, and one of the things we got to looking at was what goes on anywhere in a job. And as you got your new hire, so you got a new hire person coming in, and we're talking about names here. None of this is set in stone. And we were coming up with some things, but you would have a basic recruit. And I know if you watch a lot of TV, you think about the rookies or you hear that terminology done. But I think most law enforcement people will tell you that TV looks at the rookie year of something and thinks, okay, just because an officer's been there a year and went through some training academy and everything, they're really good to go. And I think most of us would always say, no, I said a lot of rookie people, to use that terminology, it's taken 3 years maybe or more before they are really coming along where they're starting to get their stride. So whether we call them a rookie or a recruit, what we're doing is we're talking about setting up a base salary for that intro. And that intro would be lower than what is set now for the basic deputy. And looking at that. And why? Because we want that person to show themselves that they have to pass, and this is by state statute and other things too, they have to get certain skill sets done, and their motor skill sets, such as emergency vehicle operations course. And we all know driving is a thing, and just because somebody's got their driving license doesn't mean they're quite capable of doing the kind of driving sometimes we need to do or make good decisions about certain things. Another one is physical tactics, and that is doing hands-on with people and how to treat them, how to do them, when to back off, and not get ourselves involved in litigation that's unnecessary and that type of stuff. So these skill sets that come in are sanctioned and put up by the state of Indiana and elsewhere. All the states have. And firearms is another one. A very prime example is that it's, I look at firearms, and we talked about this before. Firearms is one of those things that it's a low rate of incident usage. You hope you never really have to use it. But the usage of it results in a very high disproportional amount of liability and issues that come across. So that's another thing that they have to pass. Plus, then they would have to pass and go to the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy and pass the stringent reviews of the Indiana Law Enforcement Training Board, the ILETB. So what Eric and I were working back and forth is thinking about, okay, you've got the new person coming in, and as they pass these segments, starting an increase of them as they go through that, so that by the time they are graduating from the academy, they are basically up at the base pay. And so that would be one start. Then we have the way the Sheriff's Department is set up. You have different classifications of deputies, the first, second, and third deputies, and their ratings and stuff. So now you're getting somebody with experience. So they've been there, and we would hold that level of pay for the in beginning up to about 3 years. And again, we can play with those numbers a little bit. At the end of that 3 years, you would then rate it as, say, a third-class officer. And the number, as you go higher, lower in the number, the higher the time you've been on. So as a third-class officer, that would be a range of maybe 3 to 5 years, or 3 to 6 in between that. There would be another increase in pay in that. And then you develop to a second-class officer, a first-class officer would take us up to almost 12 years of time. So like one of the people that left, like I said, had 14 years on, that they would have been making more, because I think we can all see the issue that in certain jobs, and I'm not going against anybody's job, but in certain jobs, to have the knowledge, the experience, and the abilities that come that you can hone, is that if I've been on for, like this officer, 14 years, and somebody's standing beside me who's been on 367 days, should we be making the same? What's my incentive for staying and hanging in there? Please tell me if I'm on a timer too.
No,
So,
you're good.
yeah.
You're on the agenda. You're
Okay, thank you. And then also, we want to recognize, besides that, the person who is more, I don't want to really say go-getter, but that might be a descriptive term, but somebody who gets enthusiastic about stuff. So because some of these things are necessary and required, that you get an officer who sits there and says, you know what, and I really like shooting, I really like firearms, I really like this and that, so I would like to go and actually go through the process of getting my certification as a training officer for firearms. Or I like the idea about the vehicles, not just driving fast, it's about driving safely with traffic, it's understanding braking distance, it's understanding about scuffing off speed, it's understanding about taking curves and everything else. There's a lot to it. And so somebody might excel in that, and that person wants to say, hey, let me go to, or I'd like to attend and be certified in the emergency vehicle operations. So then they can come back and train other people. And that's the beauty about that. And once they reach those levels, and that kind of goes into a few other things. There's drug recognition for drunk driving. There's what's called stops class about impaired drivers. There's other things that can start being looked at, such as the sex registration issue, which is a mind-boggling necessity that the state says the Sheriff's Department will do. And this is about sex offenders and predators and keeping tabs of that. And the list can go on. if somebody's doing that, I'd want to be able to reward them and say, hey, we do recognize that this person is excelling in something and has been like a system now that can train the trainer, which saves the department money later about trying to get some of these things done. Because actually, we lost an emergency vehicle operations instructor and a firearms instructor in this group that left. So we're minus those. Excuse me, I'm going to turn that down for a second. And to do that, we would have another set aside little area and come up with figures for that. To sit there and say, okay, officer or deputy A, you know, you're doing this. We want to recognize that because why? You had to put time and effort into that. You have to keep those skills up. Then as you go along, and some people maybe don't want to do that, and I understand that too. There's some people that are very happy to be out here, be patrol officers, and just continue on and do what they do. And that's not putting them down at all. But to have that seasoned experience as the years go by would be then looking at that time as far as running those base salaries or those base systems up. And so we've run the gambit of a new hiree, times on in grade all the way up to say 20 years. It would be called a master deputy is what we're looking at, and beyond. And the specialists and specialized other training that goes into it. Looking at this, what Eric and I were crunching some numbers, was to base it on the base salary, not on what they're currently making if they're getting, say, a higher rating, but just to make the mathematics. We looked at what the base salary is probably going to be, and we would take a percentage rate of that, and we just arbitrarily looked at a 1% for that 3 to 6 years, a 2% for that 6 to 9 years, 3% for the 9 to 12, and up the line. And it would always be based on, so later as the years went by, if I'd been on, just looking at the math, if I'd been on 12 years to 14, actually making 15, as I drop into the next classification, that salary change would not be whatever it is in the future, 15 years from now, what my salary is. That's not what's going to be based on. It would be based on what is the baseline salary of a new officer coming in 15 years from now. So it's something we could plan and look at, and it gives you all a chance. And some of you might be here in 15 years. I definitely am not.
Not me.
I'm not planning on it at all. I might be still walking around somewhere, but I don't plan on being here. And it would give you all, as time went by, and in the future people that are going to take your places, a chance to look ahead, because they would be able to do the mathematics and see what those things are going to come up and go up to. And it's a way, again, I'll maybe lead off and let Eric, if he's got some more things to add, and he's got more figures in his head than I do. And I do have everything's here.
Shaking that head.
Yeah, no, he's pretty good.
No more figures is good.
He's pretty good. But Eric, should I say what
I
you
think
thought the total would be?
It's okay.
Okay. We
have it. I sent it.
Okay,
You can talk about
we
it.
did some mathematics and crunched some numbers, and we thought doing this now, and this would be, actually, we kind of thought with a full complement of officers to do this. We were looking at approximately, rounding it off, $118,300. And that's across the board. That would be everybody, all the departments.
Where they're at right now.
Where they at. And be able to do that. And I can't speak for everybody, but I'm just talking about human nature. For most of us, at least myself, I know Eric and a few of us, we didn't get into this job to get rich. We knew that way back when. But we do like getting a pat on the back or a little compensation once in a while. But that pat on the back, that I do that, I think a lot of people, I think we are all like that as human beings. When somebody sits there and says, and I'll just pick on David here for a minute. David, you know, you've done a really good job this year or whatever. Thank you. And for your service, you know, hey, you got this to look forward to, that, oh, here's just something to add that in there. I know you're worth more than that, but and it does. It makes, I think, more prideful in the things we've done, the accomplishments that each one does. And I think this would be as an incentive to keep those people to keep going. And I will just speak about myself. I don't want to pat myself on the back by far, but just in a day, and I used to be talked about that I must have been needing to go down to Southern Hills Mental Health. And Gail's looking at me. He remembers at one time when I was a lot younger, I carried 3 different pagers at one time because I was a fireman for the city of Tell City. I was also on EMS as a EMTA because I wound up taking not just the EMT classes, but I went up took the IV therapy, and we did more than that. Then I was on the rescue squad, and we started doing things that was totally out. And because I wanted to do it, I liked it. I enjoyed doing those things for the community, for everybody else. Like I mean, it was kind of nice to have people say, "Hey, thank you for doing that," and that's a little bit that goes with it. So, there you go.
With the comparative analysis, obviously, falls close with what the Indiana Sheriff's Association's survey was, or salary survey.
Yeah.
These numbers are pretty close, so that tells me that with the math that we had received, the analysis that we had received, when we compared it against an unbiased sample, the numbers are close. It's within $2,000. So this is just kind of the area that, or the amount of money that things have traversed to over the years. None of this. It's just the facts are the facts, It looks like, according to the Indiana Sheriff's Association salary survey, they have a low average and a high average for deputy sheriffs. And that's because we have some deputies that have specialties. We have deputies that bring a little more to the table in terms of train the trainer, in terms of handling these extra duties that sometimes they don't get compensated for. The sex offender registry, I did it. I did it by myself for a number of years, and Damien did it for a number of years. And we'll tell you, it's no fun. It's just no fun. It's a lot of extra added work that you have to do outside of work hours.
If you don't mind, I'll jump another one in. My head's kind of jumping around. So those random neurological misfires that go off. Evidence, and we were talking about that earlier. The evidence issue of a deputy or an officer bringing in such as a firearm that might be used in some type of crime or is recovered or whatever. There is such a process that has to go through that, and that is limited. Not every officer can do that because of the constraints from the courts and everything to talk about evidentiary issues when you go to court. And I just want to address the public here too. TV's great. I like to watch a lot of it too. But when you go to a real courtroom and sit in here, and this is why there's not a lot of participation in there, because it is very dull and droning and it goes on and on. But the legal issues of, and I don't want to pick on any defense attorneys or even the prosecution, but they will sit there and you have to follow very stringent rules and regulations about how you document something, how it goes in, where it's at, and how you bring it back out and show it in court. And we're a small community, but I've been involved in several murder cases over my years, and that documentation. So we all don't do it, and we all can't do it because of the idea of the locks and the security systems of evidentiary issues are restricted, because they don't want all these fingers in that pie, because they want to be able to know that whoever it is that does that. So yes, that becomes a boggling type deal in one's mind sometimes, just the paperwork involved and the stresses of being responsible of the, think of it like a librarian who's got the rare books. And I tell you, I wasn't good at that either. I could go in the library and find kind of stuff I was looking for through their card index. When they said use that Dewey Decimal System to try and figure it out, I was lost. So I was glad there was librarians who get paid for that. Well, this is like an acute librarian type system that has to be done. That's just one of many.
That's a good enough.
And the canine, I think.
The canine is another one that the responsibility for the dog itself And then everything goes with it. And again, it's the legal issues that come back from that, because with the use of the dogs, there's a very specific legalities that come in. And there's all set of case law that canine officers now have to kind of refresh themselves on or go over. And the issues too about we don't want that animal to bite somebody. We're usually worried about the dog getting infected. But yes, the injuries and things that come from that. So, and then taking care of the dog. The dog is great. It provides a big boost to a lot of things, such as doing searches for people, doing searches for people who are lost, doing sniffs and other things for drugs and narcotics, or making scenes safe, and just being out there with the animal. But it's like we were saying earlier, I don't want to offend anybody, but that dog, he eats, drinks, sleeps, poops, pees, and he has to be groomed, has to be taken care of, has to be taken off to the vet periodically. And it's more than a family pet. It is a working animal, but it is an animal that's got a close association. There's a lot of work that goes into that. So that's another one of those things about specificity, about rewarding that person a little bit.
And the other thing that you guys said to us at the meeting that we had was that the person who's in charge of evidence or whatever is going to get called out. Okay. Yeah. And so they can be home and they have the responsibility, an extra responsibility to get called out for that specific need. Again, same thing with the dog, same thing with other issues. So again, those added trainings that they get lead to added responsibilities that we should be reasonable and be able to reward them for.
Thank you.
If we listed everything that
it'd be
we had lost, we wouldn't be able to keep track of it. But one of the things that we lost with the exiting deputies was our field training officer.
Yeah.
You know, so now we're gonna have to turn around and find somebody that's willing to do it because we don't incentivize it.
Is it on the suggested?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it
it is.
is. Yes, it's
So
important.
That's what I thought.
incentivize it, so,
Yeah.
you know, and then, you know, here we go, we gotta send them to school. And, you know, the most recent field training officer came back and he wasn't real happy with his performance after he got done with his first new recruit. And I'm like, it gets better. It'll be okay. You know, this is your first one. So, you know, we need accident reconstructionists. We don't have one. There's a lot of things that we need, but I think that, I know that's a huge figure, especially with everything that's going on right now. The return on investment, I can promise you, if we continue to lose deputies,
Yes, this is awful.
we're critical right now. We have bodies, and that's no disrespect to our new folks. We're very, very happy with the people that have applied, very happy with the people that made it and got a job, but we're critical. Right now, these guys are young. Same with our jail staff. If our jail staff are new, there's a good chance they could make a mistake. If it's a mistake with MedPass, that could be a mistake that costs us a ton of money. So the return on investment is much more than just what we see at the bottom of this page right now.
And retraining somebody and paying
Absolutely.
to start over.
Yes.
One last thought from me, and it's what Eric reminded me of too. At Telsey, I went through the same thing, and that was trying to convince at the time city council members and other stuff, is I'm a big fan of training. And why? And it's to convince you all that the more training that officers get, the less likelihood you have a problem down here that results in litigation. And I'm not talking about criminal litigation, I'm talking about civil litigation as far as civil liabilities and other things happen. So it is kind of like your insurance policy in a way. And sometimes you think, okay, I'm putting this money out there in this time, and I don't see any return for it. And it's almost like your life insurance. The only way you're going to cash it once upon a time is when you're not here. So you don't want that, you know. And my automobile insurance, if you're good drivers and you don't ever have to file a claim, sometimes you bellyache, and I did too once upon a time as a high school kid and stuff, but I had to make a few claims once in a while. And that was, okay, I paid all this money to my insurance. I really didn't get anything out of it, but it's there. It's there, and training and this type of educational issue and the experience of officers. We got somebody here from Telsey PD, and he can probably say that too. That experience and time and training is what's going to reduce your liability issues down here on the other end. because there's a difference between a brand new officer walking up on somebody. I'll give you my last one, I'm out here. The other morning, there was a call about a gentleman in Perry County at the northern end of the county by I-64. Cows are out, they're on the interstate. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I know what a car deer accident will do, much less than somebody hit a cow. And just the sheer issue about the drivers on the interstate driving along. So we're up there, and the gentleman met us, and he's trying to corral, and we're working at that. And he's trying to figure out how they got out, because there was other calls before too. Well, as I'm there and going to another location, I swing up there at the one exit, and I see out of the corner of my eye, there's this vehicle parked over there, and then like I did a double take. There's somebody slumped over the wheel, the engine is running, and they look like they're not moving. So I hit my light, swing back around, and get out. So I'm running scenarios through my mind due to experience. I'm thinking, number one, is this person intoxicated, passed out? Number two, is this person had a heart attack and he's sitting up here because he stopped? Is this person as simple as he's sleepy and tired, and he's pulled over and he's snoozing up there? 4, is he a homicide victim? What else has happened to him up here? Because we've run into that on the interstate. And so, yeah, a younger, unexperienced officer maybe would react differently. I did my training and protocols a little bit, and he moved and woke up, and then I told him, I said, sir, I said, as long as when I get your driver's license, I said, you're welcome, Sleeker. I said, I'm glad. He was the guy who'd been traveling from way out east, going way west, and he just had enough. He said he really didn't know what time it was. He pulled up there, and was so tired, he had fallen asleep, but it was in park. But his engines is running, and he slumped over there. So, yeah, it's that experience and time, everything will help. So
one more thing
Yes, go
that
ahead,
we
sorry.
had, when we had our meeting, we had discussed about rank pay, so like the sergeant, the lieutenant.
yes,
Those are also just a little added incentive
yes,
for like
we
chief
talked about it, yes.
deputy.
You're right.
Okay.
If you want to tell them, yeah.
Yeah.
The sergeant, at this point in time, because I don't think there was money put into that, it was
Okay.
left as the same pay as a base officer.
Okay. But at some point, if you would want that, then that incentive could possibly
Yes,
come back if you would come
yes.
and ask or say, this is
Yes.
what this is gonna be.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, well, I will say, I did share this information with everybody, that you guys had put together and, from our meeting, and that I am gonna contact, Wagner, Irwin and Shealy, just to run this by them to make sure, because was there a question about the rank or anything, changing that in the middle of the year or in a different time of the year or something? Was there some
No,
concern
I think you and I
there?
talked about that, but I did
Okay.
not find anything.
Okay.
I was under the impression that there could be some, back in my day at Tell City, and there was something about that you could not add a new rank that hadn't been set up before in the middle of a year.
Okay.
But you've got the sergeant position in there that would take effect, and it's setting there for January, so you're okay.
Okay, that's what I want to make
Divided
sure.
line, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you couldn't set a new title of someone
Okay.
in there. And like suddenly we go, we want a corporal in February or March. You can't go, no, because it wasn't a line in there that was set before.
Okay, so
But you're good.
my next thought was that to talk to them and to see what all would have to be in place, because there might have to be protocol or something of
Sure.
how this works, some kind of thing in writing, so
Sure.
that we have
Oh,
some
yeah.
kind of standard to follow. And then there might be, another department that has something we can just copy and change up to whatever the percentages are. And then to have them look at, okay, we know our salary ordinance would have to change if we would go through with something like this, and if there's anything else that would need to be done. So that's what I want to talk to them about, and then we'll bring it back. If everybody's okay, I'll bring this information back and share everything with you guys and the council for the next, maybe December.
Sure,
Okay,
sounds
is that
reasonable.
okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation.
Thank
And
you,
all
and
the
Eric,
rest.
you guys put a lot of work into this.
Yep.
And it was an answer we had to staunch this,
Yeah, I did.
this loss that we've
I'll
got.
report it to you.
And Eric stepped up.
You did.
It's on the 11th.
You guys designed this,
Okay.
so that we weren't the ones shoving it, but we had similar ideas, and it's nice to be able to work
Yeah.
together and get it taken care of. And I like the idea immensely.
And we very much do appreciate the work that you and the deputies do, so, thank you. Does anybody have anything for Dave or Eric? Questions or, sorry.
I was just wondering, my thoughts there. Are there any other sheriff's department or police department that's under this kind of a rewards program or, and I'm,
Tell City has it.
I would
Yes.
think
Right in our
there would
county.
be, you know,
Yes.
you're not reinventing the wheel,
No.
but you,
No,
yeah.
I'm not that smart. You might.
Stan, Tell City has this very similar structure.
Do they?
Right here in our own community.
Okay.
So that's kind of the idea, to get where, departments within our community are not so far different.
Parity.
Yeah, where you get special incentive pay over here, but you don't over here, or, try to get them on the same page, so. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Okay, next up, Steve Howe, Highway Superintendent. And you have 2 operator position vacancies. I think we knew about one, right, with a retirement?
Yes.
Okay, and you're asking to advertise those in their full-time positions?
Yes.
Okay, and tell me again, I know I've probably asked you this before, but your operators, they don't have to have CDL?
Everybody there has a CDL except me and Marilyn.
Why not?
No, I don't have to have one.
Yeah. So these will also have to have?
Yes, yeah, all the employees, mechanics and everybody
You said you
has
had
a
15.
CDL because we all plow snow. I plow snow in pickup, so I don't have to have a CDL. But the
Okay.
big trucks have to have a CDL.
But those positions require it, correct?
Yes, they do.
Okay. And the operator gets paid a little bit more than,
A little more than a truck driver.
that's what I thought, okay. Does anybody have any questions for Steve about these 2 positions?
Just wondering how you are in truck drivers. We don't have any.
He has 15.
We don't have any truck drivers. We've got 10 workers left. There's me and Marilyn, the operation manager, the foreman, 2 mechanics, and then 10 workers left.
So
We're
16.
We're short 6 people right now. It's very concerning this time of year,
Kind of like our deputies, we're just running out of qualified people, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody else have any questions for Steve, or? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Paul made a motion to approve,
I'll second that.
second by David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? 6-0.
Thank you.
And you're welcome to get your CDL if you want.
I
We
had
can
it,
probably arrange the payment.
I had it, but it got to be a struggle to keep it.
Really?
Blood pressure and everything?
Diabetes and stuff. It's-
Oh, really, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, and
You want to go ahead and do the transfer appropriation
that,
or just wait?
that's further down, but
Okay.
is that okay?
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
fine. That's fine.
I hate to make you wait, but it's,
That's okay.
next up is RJL Solutions, Economic Development Director Jonathan Blake with an update.
Good evening. I'll keep my comments short. I will say I used to have my CDL, but I'm not any help, so
That's
I
right.
apologize. For the record, Jonathan Blake, RDL Solutions. Just wanted to give a brief update. Christy and I had a full day in the county today. We kind of divided and conquered a little bit. Earlier today, Christy met with Best Chairs, had some really good conversations with them about kind of their long-term plans for their operations. She even got a tour of the facility and saw how they operate. We met with the Southwest Indiana Regional Council on Aging and the Perry County Council on Aging to understand how our senior populations are being affected by decisions at a state and federal level, and how they're operating within the confines of their budgetary constraints. So we are actually going to be working on some research for some potential grants for them, for the Perry County Council on Aging, to help them with operations and capital. And then we're going to regroup with them after the Thanksgiving holiday. We also had a really good meeting with Mayor Kale earlier today, talked about potential collaboration with the city on, helping support their initiatives as well. So it was really, we planned to be there for an hour. We spent 90 minutes. So it was a really good conversation. Just a brief update on Web Wheel. We were expecting to have an update from them by Monday of this week. Their site selector normally has Friday meetings with Web Wheel. He informed me yesterday that that meeting got moved to today. So he's not, he and I have not reconnected to get an update on that project. And he was going to ask a couple of questions of them regarding the water line and a couple of other details regarding the actual project. So I'll follow up with him probably early next week. With that said, the remonstrance period for the tax abatements did expire on November 4th. So essentially that was the end of the 10-day period that taxpayers had to file a remonstrance or appeal to the circuit court related to those tax abatements. So those are technically in effect and will go into effect once the project moves forward. And then finally, we're in collaboration with the council and the commissioners and redevelopment, we're reviewing several documents related to potential transfer of real estate or a request for transfer of real estate for Wapaka, particularly related to property around their plant. This came up pretty quickly. Not too many of us were aware of this request. So we have engaged legal counsel to help review all of these documents and understand what the county's obligations are from a contractual standpoint, and then also understand what next steps should be. So I should have an update probably before Thanksgiving next week that I can share with everyone, but I wanted to give that update as well. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Sounds like a busy day.
It was a great day.
Anybody have anything? If not,
Okay.
thank you for the
Thank you.
update. Appreciate it.
I'm going to miss you. It's been great working with you the last couple of months, but
It's
congratulations.
It's been fun at times.
I understand.
Every meeting, Stan. All right, thank you. Okay, next are the minutes from October 23rd. They're lengthy because it was our public hearing as well. So has everybody had a chance to review and do I have any changes? What? You have one? Okay,
Not really.
tell us what it is.
I just, where we got this 1.414. It should probably be million, but that's the only thing I saw.
Oh, it says $1.
It just says 1.414.
Oh,
and I was-
here.
That should be 1.414
Oh, here
million.
they are.
It's not a big thing, but it just, someone
Your
looks at it
writing is so small. What page?
to,
Probably pass that for me. Here, right here it is. It should say million. Okay. Okay. It's fine. Okay, we can change that, and add that in. It's fine. Does anybody else have anything with that? If not, I'll entertain a motion with the addition of the word million for that.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as corrected.
Okay, motion made by Brad,
I'll second it.
second by David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion passed 6-0. Okay, next. Oh boy, lots of additional appropriations. All right,
The first additional,
okay,
just go down this.
Yep.
Okay. The general fund, from the assessor, requested $500 in office supplies. Let's see what else that I've got on that. During the budget review, this line item was zeroed out to balance the levied funds with the intention to do an additional after the first of the year. My office supplies in county general is only $300, and I've already moved some funds to help cover expenses. So she's transferred from other line items as much as she can. So, and I think she had originally requested 2,000 and
well, we
tabled
lowered it by 2,000.
Yeah, then lowered it.
And Brad, you said you had talked to her and she had needed some paper and some,
Yeah, we have reams, essentially reams of paper and then costs associated with a copier that they have in there that is, they pay sort of a lease or rental based on the number of copies made. So that plays into this as well.
okay, does anybody have any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion made by Brad,
I'll second it.
second by Gail. Is it Gail? Okay,
Very cool.
second by Gail. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion passes 6-0.
The next one is the Clerk's Perpetuation Fund. I apologize. The Clerk's Perpetuation Fund for computer equipment to replace one desktop computer, one laptop computer, and one desktop scanner, in the amount of $1,700.
Are they just outdated, Ms. Jones?
No. The desktop computer is just not working correctly. It works sporadically.
No.
We've had all this checked out by an island. And that and the laptop computer is a combination of probably it's getting a little old, but it doesn't work at all. Can't get it turned on, nothing. That is actually the clerk's laptop. Each of the other girls have one. But if we would get snowed in or anything, I couldn't do any work or contact the phone.
Yeah.
Because you have to have that. And these are refurbished computers that Van Island would sell to us at a reduced rate over what we could get on retail. And then the scanner is also one that sits on my desk that I cannot scan more than 3 pages at one time, which doesn't work very well.
Not very efficient, is it?
No, it's not efficient at all.
Okay.
And so it, and the 1,700, I'm hoping I can get it a little bit less than that, but that should cover it.
And this is from your Clerk's Perpetuation Fund, which is
Yes, it is.
appreciated, so it
We
helps
get money
offset
there,
them.
and that's money that we can spend on computer equipment.
Okay. Is there any warranty or anything on these things since they're refurbished, or is it just,
I don't know.
Okay.
Answer that.
does anybody have any questions for Ms. Jones? If not,
Make a
I'll,
motion.
I'll second that.
you make a motion to approve? Is that what you said, Gail?
Yes, he
I'm sorry.
did.
Okay. Seconded by David. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? 6-0. Get to work if it snows, right?
The next one is from the general fund for the clerk for office supplies in the amount of $850. This is to pay for child support checks, partial reimbursement through the 4D funding.
So I have to have 850. Our office supply comes on.
Okay.
So we have to have that much to be able to cut the check, but we will get some of that
Okay.
back from the 40 funds.
Okay. Yep, I remember this. Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Jones on this one? If not, I'll entertain a
I'll
motion.
make that motion to
Motion
approve.
made by David to approve,
I'll second it.
second by Paul. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? 6-0. You're welcome. Here, you want me to just- I know where this is. Okay.
This for some reason. The next one is from the general fund for the circuit court for attorney. This is to cover the expenses of the pauper attorney's claims, depositions, psychological evaluations, et cetera. They have moved money around to cover November's claims, but there will still not be enough to cover December's claims. And our next reimbursement for pauper will not be until February of 2026. So she's asking for, there's actually 2 of them. She's asking for $35,000 from general, and then she put them on the same sheet, and then she's got to where she can pay $20,000 out of the supplemental public defender. So one's for $35,000 out of general, and then appropriating to spend $20,000 out of the supplemental public defender fund, $1,200.
That's that special fund.
The supplemental public defender, yeah.
anybody have any questions for Chris?
We pay all of the pauper, like, we pay out of the reimbursement pauper fund first. There's nothing left, it's zeroed out. So, so we won't get another reimbursement. We've already submitted the paperwork, but by the time it goes through the channels of going to the pauper board, then going to the state, we will not get it till February. So, but the auditor's office always, and the circuit court, we work together, and if we pay all of the pauper bills out of the pauper fund, we don't go to general unless we don't have the funding in the pauper.
So this is just one of those things that we have to pay.
We have a choice.
We don't have a choice to not pay pauper attorney fees. But there are some things that, I've got some contacts now that I can look into and potentially look at what we can do to help better control these costs, maybe if we look at hiring somebody instead of having multiple, or what that might look like. We'll have to get with the pauper board and the judge and the people from the state, but there's options there. So we'll be looking into those here soon also, so.
And we've already got the claims entered, like, so we've got the claims ready to go to be paid out on December 1st. But of course, I can't pay it out without this appropriation. So we'll need the full 55,000.
Does this cover through what, November or?
No.
These are
This it'll go the end of the year, right?
the end of the year.
December claims?
November and December. We move money around to cover November. These are the ones for the December claims.
Says to have to cover December claims. Hopefully.
I didn't see that.
If not, does anybody have any further discussion?
Do we need to make two different?
Two separate.
Yeah. I'll entertain a motion for the first one. Yeah, the general fund, circuit court attorney for 35,000.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Brad,
I'll second that.
second by David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? 6-0. And the next is supplemental public defender fund, circuit court attorney, 20,000.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Brad,
I'll second it.
second by Paul. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Motion passed 6-0.
All right, the next one we have is for the general fund for planning and zoning for board members. The original appropriation for board members was $810. Currently, right now, we cannot not pay out of the payroll account line, so the account line is currently short $970. We've had a lot of building permits.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing. The monthly average is 200, so an additional 1,500 should cover the negative and the remainder of 2025. I didn't want to have to come back for December, just in case. If they don't use it, it's just going to stay in the general fund. So that is for the board member line. And then, well, of course, we have to do Social Security as well. Social Security line item is currently short $136.18. So an additional amount of $175 should cover the negative and the remainder for 2025. And then the original appropriation for office supplies was $275. And the account line is currently short $15. I don't have anywhere else to move that from. I think there were some computer bills that we got that paid out of it. For addition, so I'm asking for an additional for $100 in case they need supplies to get them started or through the end of the year. That's Amanda's signature.
I just want to make sure you didn't do that right now. Okay. See if anybody have any questions for Chris? I'm just kidding.
I know.
Okay. If not, I'll entertain
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by David, second by Gail. Any further discussion? The only thing I want to say is they're bringing in way more than what we're paying out here for these permit fees. So this is actually, I think
it would be another good thing
Work it
too, for, so maybe create a fund for that.
Yep, we can do that. A specific fund so that we don't have to do
I was
this.
thinking we'd done that, but
Not for planning and zoning, it's still in general.
I can get that done. Okay, sorry. Motion made, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion passes 6-0. I'll get that done. Yeah, we need it.
Oh, we need to do 3 separate, sorry, guys. No, you don't, you're fine. I'll do it all after that. Because there's 3 separate. They're all out of
Do you
general.
want to do them?
No, they're all out of general, we're good. So then the
Are you
next
sure?
one, yeah, perfect. So the next one is for the,
It's me.
it's you're $35.
She forced me.
I actually on October 29th went through and looked at a lot of our account line items, not to take up too much time, but you can run a line item negative as long as you have money within that category. So I like to go through and look through and make sure, because sometimes when you borrow from one category in May, you might not remember that you borrowed from it in November. So I went through and checked negative line items, and within your guys's, I didn't have anywhere to move. Your subscription, we only budgeted 140 for your subscriptions and dues, and we spent 175, and I really don't have anywhere to move $35 from.
You could have given it to us out of your budget.
I can't move from one location to
I know.
another, or I would have gladly.
All right.
So, yeah, so
I'll
just
entertain it.
$35.
I mean, we have to pay it. So,
I make the motion?
motion made by Brad,
Second.
second by David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? 6-0.
The next one is out of the out of the general fund for the detention center for utilities. This is an additional appropriation request for utilities for the remainder of 2025. This line item has typically been paid out of lit edit funding. That appropriation has all been spent and there is no remaining cash. We did not have any other fund to go to as we're not bringing in inmate housing any longer. So we don't have anywhere else to go except for general.
I guess you want to keep the lights on.
Yeah, I don't like being in there with.
Did we just under budget or what?
Well, I don't know. Have the bills been higher? I mean, or, I'm just trying to figure out, maybe, was it under budgeted or what was the reason?
I had it, but
Okay,
I brought it down a little too low.
okay,
That was my name.
that's okay.
I think
Well, forget it.
utilities have went up though. I mean, I know mine has. I under budgeted mine too.
I'll tell my wife that too.
So if we're gonna say it, I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, motion made by Gail,
Second.
approved, second by Brad. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? If any nays, then, okay, 6-0. Okay. If there's a nay, you'll have to get your flashlight.
The next additional appropriation is out of the general fund for the council. Examination of records. This is actually for the federal audit.
Excuse me.
The ARPA budgeted, but the invoice came in a little bit over $1,266.40. So we really don't have any other line items paid out of other than general. So.
Or your office. Okay, she didn't offer it out of the auditor's office, so.
Same pot. It's general fund.
What was
I
that,
don't think so.
what was that total audit? You remember?
At least it was only that.
It's all right.
I think it was like 17 something.
Yeah. Okay, if anybody have any questions about that, or if not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by David,
I'll second it.
second by Paul, to approve, I assume.
Yes. to
Any
approve.
further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion passes 6-0. Listen, I'm in order. You're always out of order. Here you go.
That's not next.
Yeah.
Courthouse building maintenance.
Right.
Seated. I'm in out of order. The commissioners, maintenance, we are out of appropriation in general fund. The commissioners have stated to be able to go ahead and pay for the building maintenance out of seated. We have paid a lot for the chillers out of building maintenance, which is a large chunk of the 10,000 appropriation, so it just minimizes. These were actually turned in with them appropriated differently, but they're advertised out there.
For the total amount
The
of
total amount.
$1,425.39.
Yes, and then they also, at that same meeting, they did that, Commissioner Cole added on recording fees for deed transfers, and the amount of $105 to be paid out of the CDIG, which is their fund to pay out
Do
of,
these need to be separate?
because they're separate line items.
And that's okay that that's not?
Yeah, because it was advertised right.
Okay. Yes. Does anybody have any questions about these? If not, I'll entertain a motion for I guess, the CDIT Commissioner's Building Maintenance for $1,425.39.
Make that motion.
Motion made by Gail,
Second that.
second by David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passed 6-0. Next is the CDIT Fund Commissioners recording fees for $105. Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Brad.
I'll second.
Second by Paul. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? 6-0.
Or,
You want the next one?
this one.
Look at you, yeah.
Next one is out of the cumulative bridge fund for highway. This is just appropriating to pay the invoice for the bridge inspections in the amount of $24,372.
Anybody have any questions on that? This is something we always, you have to do.
This is phase 2A of the 4th year of our
Okay.
contract.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by David, second by Gail. Any further discussion or questions for Steve? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? 6-0.
The last
I
one,
need to give us that. This last one.
because it just got approved.
No, you gave us that, but you didn't give us this last one.
Oh, the liability?
Yeah, the sheet.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I think it's because it just got, I advertised it, but the commissioners have to approve it. They just wait for
You
it.
can read it.
This is the general fund for commissioners, our liability insurance. This is for our cyber liability insurance. In auditor world, this is super important. I know of 2 counties just recently that got hit and, so insurance just keeps going up. Because it's definitely a liability. Cyber is definitely, so our cyber insurance went up more than what we had appropriated for last year, $23,284.
It's not that much.
Additional for cyber insurance and correction of fee
Or was
for our
it, they
umbrella.
just did.
umbrella. This is our additional for cyber liability insurance increase and correction of fee for an umbrella policy.
Wow.
So that's how much our insurance went up.
That's not much. Umbrella was only 160.
Yeah, and our cyber renewal.
So we really underestimated that, didn't we?
How much is the total?
That's just.
I was to renew the policy. I think it might be the whole policy.
Cyber was not included in everything. It's separate. It was separate. This was an additional.
Okay.
So what you said
We
that
usually
the other
do this.
counties that got hit, how were they hit? Was it ransomware or? Yeah. So they shut the whole system down, they had to pay to get it.
Everything.
Good grief.
Yeah. DeKalb County is still struggling and they got hit over 2 months ago.
We don't need that. No. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, I want to ask is if the county got hit, does the insurance company pay for the ransomware or do they just fight it or how does that get handled, Chris?
I'm not sure. I know I'm assuming the insurance pays for a lot of that, but I know that when the two counties recently that I know got hit, I know I personally, just for us, wanted to reach out to
Yeah.
Anjan and talk to him, make sure we had everything in play,
Okay.
and we do, so.
I just wondered if these ransomware companies or outfits get paid off, by somebody, whether it's the insurance or, I know you gotta get up and running again, but
Yeah, I know DeKalb was shut down for over a week,
okay.
completely.
So, can we just check,
Yes,
what I want you to do is to check, make sure they know, the insurance company knows all of the protections that Ann Island has in place, just
Okay.
to see if that could go down, or if we can get a refund, if there's any, I don't know if that's a possibility, but they need to understand everything that we have in place to prevent this also, to see if that would help.
get that down.
Yeah. Okay, there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Paul to approve,
I'll second it.
second by David. Any further discussion? I think this is just one of those, I hate that we have to do it, but I think we have to do it.
I know that the commissioners have talked to, we need to look at our liability folder and our insurance. And it's a huge process to bid it out, but I know that Commissioner Cole has been looking at that to get us on every 2-year renewal to make sure we're getting the best for it. But it's a huge undertaking, so that's why it really hasn't been done a whole lot.
Yep. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Okay, motion passes 6-0.
All right, now we're on to transfers. The next one, we're doing a cash transfer. I sent the council members. We had developed or set up an emergency EMS replacement fund to basically put so much out of our budget annually to put back for ambulance and EMS supplies. 300 of that out of HFI. What did I say?
300.
30,000, sorry, 30,000, woo, 30,000 out of HFI was appropriated to go in there. We have since found out through audits that we can't move money from the HFI to another fund. It has to stay in there and be allocated.
Just earmarked.
Just earmarked for that. So this is moving the money back, which honestly has already been done because it had to be for the audit. So this is just making you guys aware that that money has been put back because of a correction of error, because it can't be moved, but it is earmarked in the HFI. And the HFI audit, I actually got the paperwork back and everything went 100% good on that other than this.
So it's just gonna be held in a different spot. It's for the same reason, we just need to make sure it's earmarked for that, and, that the health department's aware that it's there for that reason, and that we're aware that it's there for
Keep
that
a
reason.
total of how much you have
And
each
you'll,
year.
yes, and so you'll have some kind of record of that also for future years in case
So it's
this
traceable
board
in an
looks
audit.
different, or, yes, yeah, this is just a technicality to put it back.
Yes.
So, any further discussion or questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Brad,
Second.
second by Gail. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Okay, motion passes 6-0.
The next one is for the highway moving 7,500 from their gas line item 23101 to their equipment rental 39300. These are in different categories, so it has to come to the council for approval.
Want to come up, Steve? Sorry to make you wait. Sure. I appreciate it.
On Cottonwood and Apricot, we were tearing out rock ledges. This is to pay the contractor for that work. We should be completed. One more day, we should be done with that.
That's equipment rental?
Mhm.
Okay. And that's okay to pay it out of that?
That's what we have to, yeah.
Okay. I thought you were actually like renting a piece of
No,
equipment or
no.
something.
No, he's got
Okay.
somebody, we've got somebody doing, busting the rock up, and then we're doing the rest of it.
Okay. Is it going okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Is that in Clark?
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions for Steve?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll
Gail-
second that.
Gail makes a motion to approve, second by David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? You can pay the bill.
Okay.
6-0. That's good.
The next one is an appropriation transfer. Said that wrong. Cash transfer with the intent to appropriate. This is moving $200,000 from MVH restricted and $200,000 from our lit edit highway, $200,000. So moving a total of $400,000 to our local road and bridge matching grant for the second portion of the community crossings.
For our match for 2026 paving.
Yep.
Okay.
Community crossings paving.
We have to do the intent to appropriate. We'll advertise, but we need an intent because we've kind of been waiting on this since about September to figure out where this was going to be coming from, and we're getting bills, right?
They started Monday on the last road, and they'll be complete.
Are they on Grangeville right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
So
That's good.
With the intent to appropriate.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Steve on this? That grant match is a good thing, so we hope it continues at least at the full $1 million. Well, I guess minus our wheel tax.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Brad,
I'll second it.
second by Paul. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate it. All right. Thanks for waiting.
No problem.
Also, I had sent you guys an email. Kelly, David, and Randy and I met. Except you're I'm trying to phone call. And we had to move money, if you guys recall, in April, we set up the separate lit edit funds to where they'll all carry their own cash balance instead of all being in one pot, which is 1112. So we had all the remaining cash in there, cash balance in there, and had to divide it up. As we had spoke back in April, we had an overspending, whatever you want to call it, on the jail, where the appropriation was $398,000 and only bringing in with the edit 274. So we had an overspending. With that, they've adjusted a lot of things within that budget. So we ended up coming, and I don't have the exact number with me. I have it's like 76,000. So I do apologize. I don't have the number with me. But all that remaining amount is being covered through special projects. So edit special projects, yes. With the intent that any cash balance that's remaining at the end of 2025 will be transferred back to special projects. So we got a cash transfer from 112 for the building maintenance of $225,087.37.
We'll do these individually. Okay.
That was 76,
What?
872.36.
37. Did I say that?
And no, you said you didn't have it with you, that 76.
Thank you.
76,872.
Yeah.
Yes. Say that again.
76, 872.36.
You're close.
I said
Or 38.
76,000, didn't I?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
I didn't know the change.
38 cents.
I had 76.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on this? Like she said, these are the accounts that we set up early on, and this is just putting the money where it belongs within those accounts.
Yes.
Instead of all being in the one big account that kind of causes a situation. So
And going forward, it's going to be a lot
it
better.
will be a lot cleaner, a lot, you'll be able to, you like it?
I love it. It's gonna go into 1112, and then 112 is gonna zero out every month, and it's gonna.
No problem. Okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a
I'll hold you
motion.
to it. Okay.
Hold me to it.
Motion made by David, second by Gail. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. And Chris said there'll be no problems. So just want to put that on the record.
It will zero out every month. Then the next one is going from 112 to the newly created fund for economic development in the amount of $107,254.03.
Okay. Does anybody have any discussion on that? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Brad,
I'll second it.
second by David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 The next one is the cash transfer from 1112 to the newly created Highway Fund 4923 in the amount of $779,396.92.
All right, does anybody have any questions on that? I assume we need that money so we can pay his bills. Some of
Well,
them.
yeah, the 2025 money was all in there. This is everything that was left in 2024.
Even better, right, Steve? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Paul,
I'll second.
second by Brad. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? 6-0.
And the last one is a cash transfer from 1112 to the newly created Special Projects Fund 4921 in the amount of $374,677.58.
Any questions on that? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion to transfer that.
Motion made by David, second by Gail. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any nays? 6-0. Okay. And the next one, we have some appointments coming up, some board appointments for 2026. The county council and the commissioners are going to accept their letters of interest from residents who are interested in serving on any local boards for 26. You can submit your letter of interest through the link on the website. On the homepage, it's titled Submit 2026 Board Appointments, or I assume, okay. So our website is perrycounty.in.gov. And then where do you go?
So there's a link here.
Oh, that is annoying.
I've got a pop-up here. I know, but then people see right away. So there's a pop-up here, so you can click here, or it is within the homepage. Let's see where that's at. Pops up right away. Or you have to go to the council commissioners page and it's there. That's why I put it right here.
Okay, there is a pop-up on the website that comes up 2026 board appointments, and you could click that, and then it should show you. It should show you what all is going to be available, which it's probably not on there right now, but.
It is.
Oh, you already did?
Yep. It's right there. And the reason for doing this, which I announced at the commissioners meeting, is the auditor is the record keeper, and we have to know every letter of interest that's received, and then we have to send letters to everyone who's appointed, who spoke of interest, submitted a letter of interest, but yet didn't get it, or was not appointed, or we have to send letters to communication for the people who were appointed, conflict of interest, everything. And plus, we try to keep our website up to date with the information for the public to know who's serving on these boards. A lot of times if they're going to different emails, we don't necessarily get that, and we try to compile the information to where it's organized for the council and commissioners, where they have a list of who all submitted letters. So it's good to have it all coming to one location instead of all these different places. Of course, any resident who feels more comfortable emailing the council or commissioner, they can. I would just ask for the council or commissioner to submit that to me. Also, in the past, we've got written letters that we don't necessarily have address, phone numbers, emails, point of contact. Where this is on here, it's going to be a required field where you have to put in all your contact information, so we will have it. So this is just a new way to stay a little bit more organized with our board appointments, and that's just something I've been trying to better with every year. And this has been what we came up with. So
I think this is a good start to get a little more efficient with it, and I totally agree that if people want to bring them into your office or whatever, you can maybe glance them over and just see if there's anything additional they need to add, their contact information, or if they email any of us and then we forward it to the board. I think if you get one of these letters of interest or whatever, if you personally get one in your county emails, before you share it, just make sure it kind of has all this contact information, so that if you don't mind to get that from whoever it is that felt comfortable sending it to you, just so we have it, so she has it, and I think you're right that we just need to make sure you, at the end of the day, you have them all, because you are the official record keeper.
And this is a good point with this, through going through Google, it's going to create the spreadsheet for me, which is great.
But I also don't want it to discourage anybody who maybe is not comfortable with this process. They can still mail it in or bring it in or email it in. So thanks for doing that. And one more thing. Oh, well, let's take it. Board appointments will be made at the 2026 organizational meeting. And the county council has ours scheduled for Monday, January 5th at 5 o'clock. And then I have one more thing here before our next meeting. We have Stan. This is Stan's last meeting, so did you want to say anything or?
I don't believe so.
You don't? Are you not going to miss us?
I'm not gonna make any speeches, you know, I'm
No.
moved out of my district, so, you know, according to law, I'm not allowed to have the seat.
You need to follow the
so-
law, Stan, so yes. Well, I personally appreciate everything you've done. I learned a lot from you in the short amount of time that I've been here, so I'm very thankful to have
Glad to
you.
work with you all.
And wish you well in the future and hope you move back, so. Yes. And I hope Cheryl bakes stew pies. Our next meeting, regular meeting is Thursday, December 18th at 5 o'clock at the courthouse meeting room. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Brad,
Second.
second by Gail. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? You're welcome to stay if you want to. Okay, motion passes 6-0.